Good morning, everybody, dear students. This is Dr. Zulfa. Today, inshallah, we are going to discuss the conditional sentences. Okay, you have an idea about the conditional sentences before at schools, and today we'll take it in more details. You know, a conditional sentence is a complex sentence consisting of two clauses. I want to remind you of the meaning of a clause. A clause is a sentence consisting of one main subject and one main verb. Okay? Of course, it should have meaning, a meaningful sentence. So, in a conditional sentence, we have two clauses. One dependent clause, which starts with if or unless, and the independent clause or the main clause. Okay, the dependent clause of if cannot stand alone. It needs the independent clause to produce a meaningful sentence consisting of two clauses, the dependent and the independent. Okay, there are many forms of conditional sentences or if and unless sentences, and each form has its meaning. We have 4 types, and each type has its own meaning and has its own use. And now we want to see type 1. Type 1, the main clause uses will, the main clause, I say, the main clause, which is not the if clause. It's not the if clause. The main clause uses can, may, or might, the modals, these 3 modals, okay? And after the modal, of course, we have the base verb or infinitive without to, okay? This is in the independent clause. The if clause uses present simple tense. Again, type 1, if clause uses present simple tense, and the independent clause uses one of the modals, will, can, may, or might, and the infinitive without to. Okay, here are 2 examples. If you take the first bus, present simple, the verb present simple, if you take the first bus, you will get there on time. And another example, he'll be cold if he does not wear a coat. He'll will be, okay, will be cold if he does not, present simple, if he does not wear a coat. Okay. You see here the conjunction if is in the middle of the sentence. Okay. So there's no comma. When the main clause is in the beginning of the sentence, he will be cold is in the beginning of the sentence, so there's no comma as you see here in this sentence. But if you look at the first sentence, the main clause you will get there on time is at the end of the sentence, so we separate the dependent clause with a comma. What's the meaning of F1? If type 1 sentence refers to future, they suggest that the action in the main clause is quite likely to happen. It is highly expected. You are talking about a real situation. So which 90% it will happen. Okay, and here I'm saying real situation because later with F2 and F3, we will not talk about real situation. That's why I'm focusing about the point that we are talking about a real situation that it is likely to happen. It is highly possible to happen. The use of the modal verb may or might in the main clause suggests there is some doubt whether the main verb action will be achieved. Now, when you say will, it means that it is highly expected to happen. But when you say may or might, it is less expected. There is some doubt that it will happen. Now, type 2. The main clause in type 2 we use in the main clause would. The main clause is not if clause. If clause is a dependent clause, not the main. So in the main clause you use would, could, or might, and the base verb, which is infinitive without to, from a main verb. Okay, infinitive without to from the main verb. If in the if clause, we use the past simple tense. The past simple tense. Okay, it is called, this form is called unreal past. Okay, we use the past tense, but we don't mean the past. It is unreal past. Unreal past. It is, we use the past tense, but we mean something in the present. And I'll explain this point now. Because it refers to the present situation. We use past, but we call it unreal past because it refers to a present situation. If the burglars, it means the thieves, if the thieves broke into my house, they would not find any money. Look at the verb here. If the thieves broke into my house, the past tense, they would not find, would plus the infinitive, would not find any money. They would not find any money. Okay. Now, here, is it a real situation? Am I talking about something that I mean, do thieves or burglars break into his house? No, it is a hypothetical situation. موقف افتراضي. If they broke to my house. If they broke to my house. Okay. Now, look at the second sentence. Maybe a boy or a girl, a student, is talking to his mother. He says, would you be very angry if I failed the exam? If I failed the exam. لو رسبت إيش بتكوني زعلانة؟ طب يعني هنا, does he fail? No. It is a hypothetical situation. It is a hypothetical situation. Okay, it's not a real situation. موقف افتراضي وليس حقيقي. Okay. Now, or the past subjunctive. Subjunctive, when you use it here, when you want to advise someone to do something. If I were you, I would phone her straight away. If I were you, لو كنت مكانك, if I were you, I would phone her straight away. And it means I advise you to phone her. Okay. Type 2 sentences refers to imaginary or hypothetical situations. Imaginary or hypothetical situations. They imply that the action in the if clause is impossible to happen or will probably not happen. Okay, as you see here about the one who's talking to his mother, if I failed the exam, actually he does not fail the exam, but it is a hypothetical situation. If burglars broke into my house, actually burglars don't break to his house, but he imagines, he says something which is unreal. Okay. Right. If I won, another example, imaginary situation or hypothetical situation. If I won the lottery, I would buy a house. He does not win the lottery, but he imagines that he might win the lottery. But I don't think I will win the lottery. You see, I don't think that I will win the lottery. Will probably not happen. This will not happen, or will probably not happen. Why are you wasting time? Look at this sentence. Why are you wasting time? If you worked hard, you would get high marks. This is a hypothetical situation in the present time. All of these situations are hypothetical, افتراضية, in the present time. They are not real situations. Now someone, a father says to his son, for example, why are you wasting your time? Why are you wasting your time? If you worked hard, you would get high marks. Look, he's wasting his time. He's wasting his time. The father says, if you worked, actually he does not work hard. He does not work hard. The father hypothesized, يفترض, if you worked hard, you would get high marks. So when you hypothesize something, you use the past tense in the if clause. Okay, when you imagine something which is not expected to happen, you use the past tense with the if clause and with the main clause. Okay, but even in Arabic, I say ليتني كنت طائرا. You see, ليتني كنت طائرا. I use كنت past tense. لطرت حول العالم. So we use the past tense to imagine a situation, imaginative situation, impossible to happen, something which is impossible to happen, but it's not in the past. Now I am talking to you in front. You are in front of me, and I'm saying ليتني كنت طائرا لطرت حول العالم. For example, my son is studying in Europe, so I say in English, if I were a bird, I would fly to him, to see him. In Arabic also I say ليتني كنت طائرا لطرت لرؤيته. So all of these are hypothetical situations, imaginative situations, but in the present, but I use the past tense. You see here other examples. If I were a bird, I would fly around the world. It is an imaginative situation. As you see, imaginative, impossible to happen. It's impossible to be a bird. I'm a human being. The past subjunctive is often used with giving advice, as I said to you, when you advise someone to do something, especially about what the person should do. When you want to tell someone to do something, you advise someone to do something, you say, if I were you, I would tell them the truth. Where, I use where, past tense of verb to be, where I would tell them the truth. Now, type 3, the main clause. Type 3 here, the main clause uses would or could or might plus have plus the past participle in the main clause. Okay, if clause we use past perfect tense, okay. If you had worked hard last year, you would have passed the exam. Okay, but actually he did not work hard and he did not pass the exam. Here is the example. Example here. If you had worked hard last year, is the past perfect. If you had worked hard last year, you would plus have plus past. Okay, three parts: would, have, and past participle. So actually, he in this sentence, I mean, he did not work hard and he did not join university. Type 3 sentences, the speaker is looking back from the present to the past time, meaning it is about something which happened against what was expected or against the real situation. Here, when I say if you had worked hard last year, it means that you did not work hard. And now I cannot bring last year to this year. Now, finish up. Now, what happened in the past happened, and what didn't happen, didn't happen. Okay, you cannot change anything. It's real, it is regretting the past here. Meaning it is about something which happened against what was expected or against the real situation. Again, I say he did not study hard and he did not join the university. Now he's not in the university. Okay, now use, when to use it? This type of sentences is used when making excuses, showing regret, blaming someone. When the father says to his son, if you had worked hard last year, you would have passed. He's blaming him. Okay. For example, regret, when someone says, for example, if my father hadn't died, I would have joined university. Okay, so I regret something. Okay, example, if you had here about blame, here about blame. It's the same example we used up. If you had worked hard last year, you would have passed the exam and you joined university. And for regret, if my father okay, this is about regret. Okay, meaning he did not hear for this sentence that he did not hear. Okay, here for the regret, if my father hadn't died, it means his father died. It's against the reality. And I would have joined the university. It means he did not join university. Okay. Now we want to talk about zero if, which is not 1 or 2. Facts or zero type. If the clause uses the present simple tense and the main clause uses the present simple tense too as well, we are describing a fact. The meaning, this is used to refer to universal or natural truths or facts. Okay, if you heat water to 100 centigrade, it boils. Of course, if you heat water, it boils and it evaporates. Plants die if they don't get enough water. Look at the verb. If you heat, it's present simple. The if in the verb in if clause, it's present simple. And the if in the other clause is, or in the main clause is also present simple. Okay, so there's no futures, there's no models, there's no will, there's no may. It is a fact. It's unchangeable. That's why we use the present simple in both sides. Plants die, present simple. If they don't get also present simple, if they don't get enough water. Okay, the if clause uses the present simple tense and the main clause is in the imperative. Another form here with imperative اسلوب الطلب أو الأمر. Okay, also look at the form here. The if clause uses the present simple tense and the main clause is in the imperative. Another form here. This is used to give advice or order for in particular situation. Okay, or in certain circumstances. Look here. If you meet a poor man, present simple, okay, help him. Also present simple. It's the imperative form, أسلوب الطلب. Okay. Now, look at the two verbs, meet and help. It means I advise you, if you meet a poor man, I advise you to help him. The teacher says, if the bell rings, put down your pens. If the bell rings, put down your pens. The teacher says, now here, what does he say? If the bell rings. If the bell rings, present simple. Put down your pens. Imperative form, you don't see a subject before it. Okay, it is implicit subject. You understand it from the meaning. Okay, so you start with the verb, put down your pen. Okay, it is a matter of order. Okay, if the traffic light is red, stop your car. It is another order. So is the verb in the if clause is, and the main clause stop, also present simple, both present simple. So we use this form when you give orders or advice. It is the imperative form, صيغة الطلب أو الأمر. The if clause uses the present continuous or the present simple tense, and the main clause uses the modal verb. Okay, this is used to make suggestions and give advice also, suggestions when you want to suggest something. Okay, if you are thinking of buying a blended mixer, okay, if you are thinking of buying a blended mixer, you could try mine first. I suggest that you could try mine first. Okay, thank you very much.